May I ask you a question? How many of you do remember those guys over here? Sine, cosine, and tangent. Yeah, about 50%. Lucky that your math teacher isn't here with us. But to be honest, me neither. It was only a few weeks ago when I went to school and saw some pupils studying for their exams. Just memorizing sine, cosine, and tangent. And this made me think about something. It made me think about what I have learned in school. And I'm not talking about algebra or short story analysis. I mean, which of your opinions, which of your thinkings, and maybe your worldviews do have their origin back in your school days? You know, for my part, I do not use Pythagoras quite often in my daily routine, but at the same time, there are several social challenges regarding racism, regarding extremism, or regarding sexism. You know, I'm not saying that your education system is bad. What I'm saying is, maybe we could find ways to give all the knowledge more meaning. And then adding to meaning, feeling. Feeling and empathy. The most basic things that makes us human. So what if we could teach values that prevent us from racism, from extremism, and from sexism? What would education look like? Or to be more precise, what would society look like? My name is Çağdaş, I'm 23 years old, and together with some friends I founded the organization Tolerant. It's actually hard to translate, but means something like in broaden your horizon. In German you say, play without borders. It all started in 2014, when I've produced my film feature Asylant, which came into cinemas in 2015, right when the so-called refugee crisis happened. A film produced without any money. No money for the cameras, no money for those ones behind and in front of those cameras. And actually, when we've started to produce this film, there have been several producers and broadcasters telling us that it's not going to work. That there's no chance to produce a cinema feature without any money. But to be honest, doesn't any good idea start with one guy telling you that it's not going to work? Probably. I was overwhelmed by how many people showed interest in this movie and offered their support, even though we had not shot a single minute of material yet. And actually, this movie was not only a movie about refugees. It was a movie from the perspective and through the eyes of those ones. And our goal was not to produce a political movie, not to manipulate people in their political opinion. Our only goal was to make people think, to make people reflect before they go and shout. So we've started this project, had thousands of visitors, but among all these visitors, there have not been a single racist. So our problem was when this kind of audience doesn't come to our cinema screenings, how about we'll bring the cinema screenings, this movie and this message right to the audience? But there's a crucial point. I mean, where the hell is this audience located? It can be the judge from the next court, it can be the teacher, the baker, the taxi driver. So what do all these people have in common? And there's exactly one point. They all went to school. Some of them probably not very successfully, but let's say they have been there. So, we founded this organization, went to schools, had film screenings, workshops, discussions with all those pupils. And what happened was actually more than any of us had ever expected. 13, 14 years old pupils who had never had any contact with refugees or migration in general. They started initiating projects in their own schools. Projects against racism, against discrimination, basketball clubs with refugees, cooking sessions with Oriental food. What all those pupils started was not only a project. It is an intercultural friendship which is actually louder and stronger than any populist can ever be. You know, pessimism always creates more pessimism. Violence always creates more violence. That's why all these populists seem to become more and more successful these days. Because all they do is spreading fear, not solving any of our problems, just making people afraid. So how about, just an offer, how about spreading optimism? To be more precise, how about making people clear that there's still a chance to build a better world? Because one thing's for sure, optimism always creates more optimism. So long story short, please go and spread optimism. Spread it as loud and strong as you can. Because building a better world starts only with you. Thank you for your attention.